Hi everyone, it's Cheryl Campbell of Campbell's Book, Nook, and Author Talks, and I hope you're doing well. Remember, I'm here to recommend books by African American authors, both fiction and nonfiction, who have characters that are African American, both fiction and nonfiction. So today I'm presenting a children's book. The name of the book is called Yusef and the President, written by Caldwell. And the reason I'm recommending the book, because for me it had a great message for kids, but I believe adults can learn from it as well. Yusef is a boy who is shunned by his friends after a while, after his friends' parents asked him not to hang out with Yusef anymore because of his name. We know that a name can't define who you are. A name doesn't define your character. A name doesn't predict what your future is going to be like. So in this case, Yusef's name, the parents were more afraid of the name than they were the little boy, and they placed their fears on the young boys, and that caused the boys not to be Yusef's friend. And it also coincided with when Barack Obama was president and he was criticized for his name and not trusted. And we know that's not true. We cannot define someone by their name. So I love that message in the book, and I hope you love it too. I had an opportunity to interview Caldwell, and she has a lot more to add. I hope you enjoy the interview, and we'll see you soon. Before we get into it, Miss Caldwell, we're going to ask a little bit about how your year's been going with the pandemic and all the social issues and just how you've been faring.
Well, peace and blessings, Queen. It is so good to get to put a face with a voice over the telephone.
Yes.
And to answer your question, I've just been just so laid back, spending a lot of time at home. I miss being around family and friends, but it is what it is,
Yes.
Just trying to be safe. And looking at this too shall pass is what I keep telling myself. And we'll get through it and get on the other side of it. But all in all, it's been pretty good, honestly.
So you want to tell us a little bit about your book, what's been going on, how did you get into writing, and what inspired you for the book, and especially the title. I love the title of the book.
The title of the book came from, I have a grandson. His name is Yusef Jassim Shaw.
Beautiful.
And when he was a little boy, he had an experience with some friends just really hurting his feelings badly because of his name.
Right.
And it was right around the time that President Barack Hussein Obama was running for president. Then, he was elected. And then there was so much in the media about his name and how people were talking about, he's a terrorist and he's this, that, and a third. And
yes.
I just thought, wow, from everything that I can see about President Obama, Barack Hussein Obama, he's a good man. And I know that my grandson is. What is it about this name that people think that it's associated with being something bad?
Right.
And so as a result of that, the book came to into my spirit, is what I say. It didn't come into my mind. It came into my spirit, and I just penned it when I was in Africa in 2012, actually.
I agree. And another reason I like the book is the message that it sends is that we believe who we are based on what we believe. And we can't use a name to make a person feel bad or good. The name doesn't associate itself with who you are in your spirit. So I kind of like that message. And I think this is a really good message for adults, because unfortunately, when Barack Obama was president, you had adults who were saying these things. And so that kind of ideology leads into what the kids think. And I think your book really leads into that, because in the book, the parents really tell the kids what they think and encourage their kids to, not be so kind to Yusef. So I like that spirit. Were there any favorite authors that you have or had, and why are they your favorites?
My favorite author of all times is Iyanla Vanzant. And I'm telling you, everything that I read that she has written, it is like the Most High, only true and living God is speaking directly through that sister to whomever has the pleasure of reading her books. It's like she's having an out-of-body experience, and the Most High has the pen in hand, and she's just, the vessel. My all-time favorite book of hers is Until Today, Daily Meditation.
Mm-hmm.
From January the 1st to December the 31st.
Right.
I have been reading the same book for 18 years. A friend of mine gave it to me for my birthday in March of 2003. And I have been reading it every day since then. And it's like every year on another day, I'll see something will just jump out and just hit me right in the face. It's like I've never even read it before. It is the most, it's awesome. I highly recommend that book to anybody and everybody. It goes so deep into making you think about who you are, why you do what you do, and why you hold so much against yourself. And it's really powerful.
I have only read one of her books, and I don't remember the name of it, but I know that she was in Charlotte a few years ago, and me and a friend of mine went to go see her. So she was a very powerful woman. She's her presence is so strong. I really, really like that. And I think that you're reading that book for the last 18 years with this Yusef and the President, this book can be read forever and ever because it has the same message of we're not defined by our name. We're defined on what we believe and who we believe we are. So I really love that about you. So I know that you're an author, but I also read that you're an editor. So can you tell me how you compare the two?
As a writer, when I'm writing, I pretty much edit my books as I'm writing.
Right.
For someone to ask me to edit their book, mm-hmm. It is because they want to make sure that, the grammar is correct, the punctuation. As an editor, I don't go in and try to rewrite somebody's book. That's not my job. I just make sure that what a person has written, mm-hmm. the reader will be able to receive what they wanted them to receive without being disrupted by improper grammar and things of this nature. So yes.
What do you like about being an editor?
I like the fact that someone has already written their book. They know what they want to say.
Right.
And I'm just cleaning it up for them so that they can get the finished product that they hope to have from their writing, and that the reader will receive the message in the same spirit that it was written, without any cumbersome sentences and things of this nature. So that's what I like about it.
It sounds to me, based on even just reading Yusef and the President, that you're really good at that, at conveying messages and to getting to the point quickly, and you have great adjectives and verbiage that caught my eye and my ear and my spirit when I was reading it. And I read it again recently just to make sure that I knew, what you were trying to convey. And I really love that. And that's why I'm recommending this book. What I also seen that you have been to Africa on a few visits. Yeah. And I just love some of the pictures that I've seen and that our audience is going to see soon. And that is, what inspired you to take that trip to Zimbabwe, Africa, personally or professionally? And how did that connect with your writing, especially of Yusef and the President, talking about naming names?
Well, actually, my middle son, his name is Marathi, mm-hmm. had gone to Zimbabwe in 2006. And he married a Zimbabwean, and they were expecting a child. And so I went over to meet my new daughter-in-law. But once I got there, as soon as my feet hit the ground, my soul told me, welcome home. It was the most amazing experience. And even as I'm talking about it right now, I'm getting goosebumps all over my body. My soul told me I was at home. And so I stayed there in 2008, but I went back in 2012.
Okay.
And my son was still there. I was there for 9 months, but I didn't even see him. I bet you I didn't see him 10 times the whole time I was there.
Wow.
So all I did was just explore, just going around and meeting my people, Beautiful. And I taught in an orphanage while I was there. But even with that, it was my connection to my people. And then I went back in 2017 and I stayed for almost 5 months.
Wow.
And again, my son was there, but while I was there, he got on a plane and came back to the U.S. So I was over there with no family, blood family, but I was with family because of the way I was embraced and treated. I got the idea for the book in 2008.
Right.
But I didn't pen the book until 2012 over in Africa. And I mean, when I started just writing it, it just flowed like it was so fluidly written.
How else did they treat you? I know we talked about how they honored parts of your family when certain things happened in your life.
Yes. When I was there in 2017, my dad died. And they just, the continent itself just brought me so much comfort.
Wow.
And I was reminded in 2017 when Dad died, when I was there in 2012, one of my first cousin, who was one of my best friends, we were like sisters. She died when I was there in 2012. And the continent did the same thing. It was like, I just felt so much love, even just coming up out of the earth, just massaging my heart, because I'm telling you, my heart was really just aching. And then just being surrounded by the people, everybody that knew that I had death in the family, they were just coming around the way we do now, just coming and bringing food and loving on each other. Wow. That's what I felt there, yeah.
Ms. Caldwell, do you have any other children's books that you've written?
Well, actually, I have written 3 other children's books, but Yusef and the President is the only one that has been published. I had a sister to die. It was 19 years ago in March, and her name was Judy. And I wrote a children's book called My Sister Judy. Oh. And it was actually, there were 14 of us that grew up in the home together, brothers and sisters. And then when Judy died, there were 13. And so it was a book about mathematics. About 13 being an odd number, 14 was an even number, going from there. It was about mathematics and also about vegetables. I talked about how Judy loved squash and spinach, and she also liked fruits, and she loved grapes and watermelon. So I was asking the children, okay, she liked grapes. Is that a fruit or is that a vegetable? So that was the way that went.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I wrote a children's book. The title of it is How Will I Get There? And it's just about the different modes of transportation. If he was, they got in the car they wanted to go to see grandmother, and how will I get there? Well, we'll use a car. But it was using all of this during the course of the day of this child traveling around. And then at the end of the book, the child said, "Oh, I am so very tired. I think I'll go to bed." Well, how will I get there? Well, I'll use my feet, because your feet, that's a mode of transportation.
Correct. Wow.
And then I wrote another one. I have twin granddaughters who are 16. And the title of that book is My Sissy, My Friend. And it's just talking about, well, they are fraternal instead of identical twins. And they have such differences. But just because somebody is different doesn't mean that they're bad. Just because somebody likes ketchup and the other one doesn't, it doesn't mean that they're any more right than you are wrong for not liking it. So yeah, it's just that, but they have never been published. I penned them and I have them in a safe place. And it's like Yusef and the President was the only one that was meant, as far as I'm concerned, to be published.
Okay.
Because I've never felt the desire to get the other ones published, but Yusef and the President, I felt the need to have that one published.
Could we find that on Amazon or any place else we could find that book, or you have a website?
It is on Amazon, but I don't direct people to Amazon. I have a website. The website is www.yusefandthepresident.com. And the reason that I direct people to the website is that They can let me know who they want me to sign it to. And I'll write a note and sign it. I just direct people to the website.
Before we wrap anything up, I would really like you to pick a page or two that you would share with everybody and maybe why you picked it.
I picked the introduction of the book. I remember when Yusef's mother, my daughter Latisse, who was the author of the Chronicles trilogy, one day she came home from school in tears because one of her friends had told her she was ugly. I was at the kitchen sink washing dishes when she came in, stood behind me and asked, "Mom, do you believe I'm ugly?" Rather than answer her question, I posed one to her. "What do you believe?" Her reply to me was, "I believe I am." I then said to her, "Well, you are then, because whether you believe you are or whether you believe you are not, you are right." Latisse is now 48 years old. She says she remembers that day as if it were yesterday because of the profound impact my response had on her. Over the years, I have watched her go through all stages of her life with a confidence that personifies self-belief. She has approached life with an "I can do anything but fail" attitude, and she has taught her children to do the same. She knows, as I did then, that when children are young, they are like sponges. They soak up everything they hear and see, whether these things be positive or negative, good or bad. She knows, as I did then, that parents define the attitudes and beliefs of their young children, and to a large degree, truth to children is what their parents tell them through their words and actions. Words are so powerful. They can build up or tear down. They can praise or condemn. They can cut, crush, soothe, heal, create, and destroy. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Truer words have never been spoken.
Ladies and gentlemen, get that book, Yusef and the President. Great message for adults, a great message for kids. Look at my sis. She's amazing, Miss Jean Caldwell. Thank y'all very much. You're going to see me real soon on Campbell's Book Nooks and Author Talks. Peace.